Hey, what's going on everyone? Welcome to the last day of play here at the Twistie Test Championship between Ireland and Bangladesh. Of course, a valuable 2 points on the line for the winner today. And it is an intriguing proposition right now because we've got the Irish in at 104 for 2. Their lead is 184. We have had a rain delay this morning, but I have been informed that we are going to try to get through as many overs as possible today. There's an outside edge. There's the first wicket to fall. It will be from the Irish point of view. Of course, they're the ones batting at the moment. Little outside edge from the spinner, and maybe a sign of things to come. If the spin plays effective today, maybe we'll see a result a little bit later on. It's McCollum out for 4, and we have a minimum of, I think, 70 overs to get through today. We will, of course, try to get through the full 90. Whether that takes us into the night or not, we'll wait and see. But the lead of the Irish, currently 194. They will, what's a big enough lead? What's a big enough lead to say we can defend this inside a day? Is 250 enough? Is 280 enough? Is 320 what the score they're going to be looking for? Or are they just going to say, we're just going to bat and see how long we can go throughout today? Or will they make somewhat of an aggressive declaration? Maybe they'll declare right now and give an opportunity to Bangladesh and say, hey, look, if you want to win this test match, come and win it from us because we want to bowl you out pretty quickly. But the lead at the moment is above that 200 mark now. It's up to 218 with that boundary. It's Balbirnie and O'Brien out there. That's a wicket to fall. Another one from the spinners, which I don't know whether that's more concerning from an Irish point of view or from a Bangladesh point of view. That one's actually played really horribly by Kevin O'Brien there. Probably deserved to be dismissed, given how far across he played, and the ball still ended up behind him without being able to get any bat on it. As the lead is, 223, and that's going to be the end of our morning session here. So, obviously a very short session due to the rain that we had overnight, and then again more this morning. The lead, 228. Now, if we do have a minimum of 60 overs remaining today, does that mean that the Ireland targets will sort of change in their head? 60 overs, is it enough to take 10 wickets, or is it enough to chase down 237? There's another wicket for Bangladesh. It's Pointer who's going to be out this time. Again, expecting it to spin a bit more than it did. So maybe it is a bit of variable turn that we're getting on this wicket now. That one maybe you would have thought would spin a heap more, but it didn't really. It just sort of held its line, and maybe that could be something that the Irish can look to as to how they're getting these wickets. Just keep putting them in the rough and see how they go. That one, a little bit of an appeal. No dice, says the umpire. Lead up to 246. Do you reckon 250 is where the declaration will come? We've only got 2 sessions to go, remember. We've got a minimum of probably about 50 overs left now. 250. It will sort of just turn into a one-day game from there, you'd expect. Whether Bangladesh want to just say, hey, we're going to bat it out, or whether they're going to try for victory. Lead up to 262. Now more runs. So maybe 250 wasn't quite enough for them. Balbirnie picks up 2 more. Gets his own half century here, Andy Balbirnie, from 91 balls. And there is the declaration from the Irish. So 192 for 5. At 58.5 overs. They just declare at strange moments in this game. I've had one after like the first ball of a day, one at the 0.5 over mark. Just declare at the end of the over. No stress for everyone. Just do it. No problems. Anyway, Murtaugh's going to be bowling for the Irish here as they need 10 wickets to win. Bangladesh need 273. We don't actually know how many overs there are remaining today. We do expect it to be somewhere in the 50 over mark as to how long's left, which means if Bangladesh are going to go on to try and win this test match, they will need a bat at about 5.5 and over, if 50 is the amount of overs. If we get more than that, of course, it will be less run rate required, but I think we are getting around about 50 is the expected one. And from the Irish, they just need to take wicket after wicket after wicket. It's going to have to be quick, smart, with them. They won't want to let too many batsmen get in at the moment. Iqbal looks like he's settled at the crease quite well early here. 18 from 16 already. Maybe he's the one who's really going to be the aggressor in this innings, as that run rate's it's just underneath 4, or just be over 4 as we head to this next over, as Islam still yet to get off the mark. None from 19 deliveries. He's going to be, I guess, the more patient one, the guy who says, maybe you can build the innings around me. If everyone around me plays aggressive and I just stick around, then that's what we can do here from a Bangladesh point of view. 8 overs gone, 32 without loss, and they're really starting to, I don't know whether they're going to ramp up here. Do they want to keep pushing on at this 4 and over? If there's 60 overs and it's 4 and over, they'll fall 30 short. If there's 65 overs and it's 4 and over, they might get there in the end. So, it's a really intriguing proposition, because we don't know both how long is left in the game and what the required speed of this Bangladesh innings will need to be. This is going to be the end of the second session right now, which means we have a minimum of 30 overs remaining. I think they're going to try and get through some more than that, because it is, of course, the final day of play. We will try to get through as many overs as possible, so there might even be up to 50 overs remaining for this final session of play. I know, seems absurd, but maybe, just maybe, that's exactly what's going to happen. And, maybe that gives Bangladesh the upper hand in this perspective, because they haven't lost a wicket yet. They look pretty good at the crease. And if they bat at a pretty consistent rate, there's 50 up for them now. If they bat at a consistent rate, maybe they can chase this down. We just don't know how long is left in this test match, and whether or not they've got enough time to get these runs. It's probably looking a little bit far-fetched now for the Irish to take these wickets, given that it is going to be, something that will need to be 10 wickets in a session. It's probably very unlikely, given they haven't taken any wickets earlier on today in the previous couple of sessions. And Iqbal, right about now, is about to bring up his half-century in pretty quick time here from 61 balls. So he's striking at 82. If he gets a little bit of help down from the other end, then Bangladesh are probably a good chance at actually getting to this total. They haven't lost a wicket yet. The spinners haven't been super effective from the Irish just yet. They're still getting smacked around the park, just like every other bowler is right now. They're not necessarily getting smacked around the park, but they haven't taken a wicket, which is what you'd expect on a day 5 pitch. You'd expect the wicket to be playing a little bit differently. There's maybe a challenging delivery. And there is the first wicket for the Irish, and it is the danger man, Tamim Iqbal. He was on fire at the crease. He'd made about 70-odd runs from about 60-odd deliveries. From maybe 80-odd deliveries. But he was batting very, very effectively. That's a huge shout. Umpire says not out. But the spinners, maybe they're starting to get a little bit into a groove as to how we're going here. And we look at Islam's score here, 17 from 67. It's not good enough if they're going to be chasing down this total. So he will need to pick up his run rate. Hussain has already done that. He's up to 10 from 18, trying to really increase. Striking at 50 at the moment, but it's still much more than Islam, who's striking at about 35 or 40. Not good enough under the circumstances, because there's still a genuine chance of chasing this down. Let's say we go into T20 mode here and you go, you need 10 and over to win this game off the final, let's say 5 overs, and they've got 6 wickets in hand. Do they try to win that game then? There's another wicket though. I don't know. I'm just questioning some of the decision making by the players. I'm allowed to do that. I'm a commentator. That's my entire job. It's to give an opinion on the matchup. So we see a wicket where the ball just didn't quite bounce as much as Najmal Hussain was expecting it to, and ended up being the second Bangladesh wicket. So maybe with I was going to say, no, it's not Islam who's been dismissed, because he's the guy who's still batting quite slowly. If he's there to let others build the innings around him, but he needs to get into the innings himself. We're at 40 over mark there, just underneath halfway to the total Bangladesh. But again, we don't know how many overs there are remaining tonight. There could be another 20. There could be another 30. There could be another 40 overs left. Nobody has any idea. I certainly don't have any idea. At the moment, it's Bangladesh who look like they're in the box seat to get a result, should a result be possible later on. Obviously, the clouds are darkening. We are getting later and later in the evening. The shadows are lengthening. Huck is starting to make some runs, and Islam's 46 at the moment as they look to run a fourth here. It's going to be tight. They get it. That was actually a third run there, not a fourth. But they were pushing hard for it. So, Mominul Huck, 20 from 28. He's batting at the rate that they probably need to be batting. Islam, 49 from 134. I mean, if he batted, let's say at 80, he's on 100 right now. You know, he's giving Bangladesh a really good chance of winning this game. They still need 109 runs, so it's not as if it's a close-ish result here. But the fact that they still have plenty of wickets in hand should tell you that Bangladesh need to be batting more aggressive than they currently are, especially with the shadows closing in, and now the lights are on. So we weren't expecting to get this late in the evening. I thought we were going to get sort of 50 overs in for the entire Bangladesh innings, but the night presses on. The umpires are keen to see the finish to this matchup. They want to go as many overs as possible tonight, which is strange because every other night they didn't want to play an extra half hour. They didn't want to start half an hour early to make up for the rain. Why? On day 5, do you all of a sudden want to do that? This is match manipulation here by the umpires, I'm telling you, everyone. Anyway, these two are actually pressing on in quite an extraordinary fashion. Bangladesh have brought up the 200 inside 57 overs. The run rate is still below 4, but I mean, we just don't know how long's left. Do they have enough time to get a further 70-odd runs? That's a boundary. And that's from Huck, who's brought up his half-century from 64 balls. Again, I look at the innings of Islam and you go, well, they're only 60 away now. If he just batted a bit quicker earlier, maybe they would have won the game by now. Because we just don't know how long's left. Do they have enough time to get 60 runs? And I give you this solution. Oh, hang on. This is a big shout here. It's a wicket, which maybe will kill any Bangladesh chance of a victory. It's huge. It's Mominul Huck, who was the man striking at 80. He's been dismissed. And we think about this Bangladesh innings and we go, look, if they batted a bit quicker, maybe they would be in a better spot. There's still time, maybe. We just don't know. But look at Islam's innings. He's striking at below 50. And even if there is, let's say, 5 overs left, they need 10 and over. They've got 7 wickets in hand. Do you not dare to try to win the test match in these next few overs? Because we just have no idea how long's left. The umpires haven't told us anything. 222 for 3 at the moment. Young steaming in. It's another dot ball from Islam. Geez, he could have batted much better, hasn't he? They need 51 more to win, Bangladesh. Ireland still need 8 wickets. Oh, and that is going to be it. It is going to be a drawn game. So we got through many more overs than expected. 63 overs for the Bangladesh innings, to be precise. We got through a full 90-over day. 222 for 3. Bangladesh. Shadman Islam, 72 from 182. I mean, they were only 50 runs short. If he just batted quicker, maybe they were a chance of winning. So Bangladesh will be knocked out of the tournament with this result. Ireland, they move to 1 win, 1 draw, equal with Pakistan, and it's going to make for an interesting matchup. They'll play each other in round 5. Ireland will take Australia on in the next round, but very intriguing. See you all later.